analyst with TradeCaptain.com, and we're gonna take a look at the markets as we usually do around this time in the morning. Of course, today we're starting later. It's 9:25 today. Reason for that is technical issues. I'm just back at the office and had issues with the internet of all things. So I'm back online now, and we're gonna take a look at the markets as we usually do. Now, before we start, I need to stress that trading financial markets unfortunately is risky, so bear that in mind. Click here on risk disclosure for more on that. As well, don't forget to check out our technical analysis section. We have a new analyst, Nathan. Nathan has been with us for about 2 weeks now, and he publishes analysis in the early morning. It's good for you guys to trade slightly short term, also slightly long term, but primarily short term. And Nathan has a great experience. He used to trade 4 years professionally, managing other people's money, and check it out. Good, nice short-term updates, different levels that he watches. He also describes how he derives them, so definitely worth checking it out. As well, we are anticipating some updates from Yuri today as well, so we'll have more update from him. Yuri also been trading for a few years, very good on cryptos and currencies as well. So check that out. Very straightforward technical analysis, and that's how you find that. As well, before we start, we do have some webinars coming up. We have my top trade ideas for May. That's taking place this Thursday, so 2 days from now. And then Nathan is going to talk about how you can improve your trading discipline, and that's taking place on the 15th, so that will be Tuesday next week at 3 p.m. London time. Okay, let's begin. Let's not miss a second here. So euro is continuing to trade to the downside. Technically the trend is bearish below 120.33, which is this high here from May 2nd, but what you're seeing right now is a bit of a decline to the downside, and the next support level that I'm aiming for is 1817, and then you have a major level which is 1715, and that 1715 level is that long-term level that I talk about in our monthly forecast for the euro. You can read more about it here. It was published on May 1st, and I think we can potentially reach those levels. Of course, in the short term the market is a little bit stretched, so you need to be careful, but it looks to me, we just took out this low from Friday, and this is yesterday's low, and that usually opens up for further declines. Now, when it looks like this, I think, it could be worthwhile potentially scalping. Sort of the ideal entry would have been to sell here at 1906 with maybe a tight stop loss on the other side here, and in essence just see how far this goes, because that would give you a risk about 40 pip, and you'd be up about 18 now, and maybe if it goes down you make a bit more. If you want to hold position for slightly longer, I think you're better off waiting for a corrective move. So this morning at 7 o'clock, I thought that we were gonna move up to 1971, and I said probably from that level it would be better to sell. But it looks to me now that this wants to trade to the downside. And if we take a look as well at the pound, you see the pound dollar as well is moving to the downside, quick sharp drop. And the fact that both are selling off is an indication really that the euro most likely will continue to move to the downside. And out of these two, I do prefer the euro. I think it can bounce up a little bit, maybe to 119, and then probably down. But that will be pure scalping opportunity. Sort of the best opportunities for the euro was just to sell here at 121.50, which we communicated several times over several weeks here in the 606 of trading. And I said if we take out this low, we're probably going to head down to this level, which we did. In fact, we hit the target. There's a 230 pip decline, and now the market continues to trade lower. And again, take out one low, probably going to go to the next low. But the issue here right now is that it's not like here where we could have just sold and just lean back and then just let the price go down, because now it's starting to get stretched, starting to get oversold. So if one is not in position, then scalping it could be one opportunity, and that is really the only opportunity I would say for this market. As well, last time I checked on the sentiment, I did a little update on that on Friday. Like, everybody was just trying to build long positions. Yeah, so 74% of traders are long with Amana Capital, and this is, it looks at the average retail trader that is trading. The average retail trader is usually new to the market. He loves to buy a dip. It goes down, he wants to buy. It goes up, he wants to sell. He does the total opposite of common sense. And the fact that so many are long sort of indicates further losses, as I highlighted in an update published last week. Okay, this is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, it's time to get involved. So a few weeks ago I said, as long as you trade above these levels, I said, this level down here, which is 85,508 or something like that. I said, look to buy here. That's what I said, and this is probably going to head to the upside. Now it took a few days, but we moved up, and now things are a little bit shaky. We have just a slightly higher high and then a little bit of a pullback. I think if we revisit yesterday's low, so pretty much down to a 61.8% correction, I think traders are going to look to buy. I think this has more scope to trade higher. But of course, if we trade below this level, we just need to abandon that bullish view, because I think if we take out the low, we're probably going to go down to the middle, and then we're probably going to trade sides between this high and this high and this low and this low. So we converge, and it'll become a bit boring for a while. But after sort of consolidation phases like this, we'll have a big party, and it's just going to be great. Also, as well, what is really interesting, if you ever you haven't started to trade this, it's obviously moves a lot, and it's riskier. Like I've been trading it since November, end of November, and I use no leverage. I just buy it and put on, say, 20% of the portfolio in one coin or 25. And then obviously if it goes down, 15% multiplied by that section I added, and that's how I work. I work from being zero invested to being up to pretty much 100% invested, and there's no need for leverage really, because it moves so much. It goes up 15% one day. If you get it right, like I was in the beginning of end of last year. And as well as I got it here because I bought some, not necessarily Bitcoin, but I bought Ethereum, bought Litecoin, and I bought Ripple. Then you can do multiples. Those coins themselves, they rally quite a bit. My portfolio for this year, I'm up with about 40%, 45, and a large part is because of cryptos, and also some parts of it is of course that I bought some S&P 500 on the lows. And what is interesting is that Amana Capital, which manages and runs Trade Captain, they're now launching crypto trading. So you're going to be able to trade Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. So to start out with 4, and you trade it like anything else, and you can also trade over the weekend. The big benefit here though is that you don't have to work with unregulated brokers or exchanges. Most of the trading happens on unregulated exchanges. You probably read about the Japanese hacks with a loss rate of $425 million of NEM, and then you had another Chinese or Japanese one, I think, that as well lost money. And in 2014, Mt. Gox, also Japanese, lost money. So people lose money left, right, and center. Here you trade the CFD, so you trade on the underlying price. But you have your money, if you're trading with the UK entity, you have your money with Barclays. So it's not somewhere random, like a small Polish bank or a small German bank, as some brokers have, and in other cases is in the Cayman. So check it out. If you want to trade more, just click on Amana Capital. You can download a demo, or just hit Amana Capital, and it's not live on the homepage just yet, but it's gonna be live in the next few hours, press releases and everything. Alright, crude oil. So this was one of the top trades of this month. We did that, said that last when we did our last top trades of the month. webinar series. We said check out the high, this could go to the upside. Now we had a nice push to the upside. I suspect it has to do with the situation with the deal with Iran and the limitations that they should not try to produce nuclear weapons, and that's under scrutiny right now, and Trump might give up on that, even says here. So this is a nice break to the upside, and it's actually something I like a lot. So look for that to move lower and then higher. And as well, congratulations guys if you actually did hold on to the positions. You might remember we said this is a bullish trend, and you just want to stick to this, and it did. I mean, I personally thought it was going to go to the downside, but I refused to short it just because I knew we were in an uptrend, and we pushed to the upside, and we said, and it's going to go up, and it went up one, and then it went up 2 times, and then the third one ended with a big bang, and most likely it'll pull down a bit more. But as I said in my top trades of last month, and this is something hot. It took out major highs when it traded above 66, and if we're trading to 73 or 75, that would not surprise me. In fact, I put that on an article a few weeks ago, and what is really interesting is that right now, we're seeing maybe inflation moderating in some countries, but if this continues, well, be careful with your energy bills by the end of the year for December, when it gets cold again in northern hemisphere, because the way this is going, energy bills are definitely going to be higher this December. Gold, not much happening. Could be really interesting. Gold is holding up relatively well compared with euro, and take out 1,301. This opens up like a trap door. The price could in essence just decline, and so down the low, take out the low, targets the next low. This is a good opportunity, and I think we could have potentially a quick catch up by gold versus the euro and the pound, as markets are getting all excited about buying dollars. And it's a break to the downside, that's bearish. The alternative, because if you look at the euro, it goes down, right? But as you can see, it's also oversold. When and if those markets bottom out, and if this market is still above the low, then this is probably gonna reap higher benefits. I think at that point maybe down and then up. Okay, so I don't really have a strong view here, but if we take out 1,301, and then I'm gonna be bearish. Here's the DAX, and the DAX is doing terrifically well. Not today, of course, but we said look to buy here a few weeks ago, and then we said look to book profits here. That worked out fine, and then I said take out the high, then you can look to get involved. And then I said if we move back down to the breakout, that's another opportunity to get involved. Now we did not move all the way down to the breakout level, so we easily missed that, but eventually it went down and then it went up, and the profit target level was 13,000. We moved as high as 12,971, so consider this a success. Moved up, peaked by the end of the day, and now it's moving slightly lower. I'm not going to show you today, but you do have some nice interesting moves in the Nasdaq 100, and it sort of tells me that maybe US stock markets are going to bottom out, and or maybe they have bottomed out, and maybe they're going to resume their uptrend. And I think the German DAX is probably going to be in a good position to take advantage of that when and if that happens. So congratulations if you traded this to the upside, and I think going forward here I want to maintain a bullish bias. Now I'm still going to work with 12,516 as my stop and key level, and I think if we move down, you have a high here and you have the low here, so really around these levels I suspect the market should look to bottom out. So I hope that we can bottom out pretty much in this little section, and that the breakout level is not going to be threatened. So this makes it the 12,763, and then potentially up and take out this high, potentially higher. So bullish above this low. And that's it. That's my general overview of the key markets here at the TradeCaptain.com. You should see here we have no questions today. That's fine. I want to thank you so much for joining. If you like it, don't forget to click on the button, and don't forget to hit that like here. So we have one dislike already, so let's see if we can get some more likes to neutralize that. Again, if you have looked to trade cryptos, Amana Capital will launch it today. Amana Capital is regulated by the FCA. If you open up with Amana Capital, you have your money with Barclays here in the UK, and you have the same protection as you would have with any other big broker. The way I started out with cryptos is that I pushed over, I think it was maybe a third of what I had in my Forex and CFD account, and I just worked with that, and I traded a little bit, and I made at one point I think I was up with about 200%, and I'm not kidding, that was just in 1 month, because I bought Bitcoin Cash that did 100% return, and then I bought Ripple, and that made also about 200% return on my portfolio. So after doing that, I withdrew 2/3 of what I actually invested, and then I just left 1/3 there, and since then it's gone even better, and suddenly my crypto portfolio is much bigger than my Forex portfolio, just because the cryptos keep on doubling. And yeah, you know, is it gonna last forever? Probably not, but I'm super excited. I'm gonna continue to trade it until it stops trending, right? Because I trade markets that trend, and right now that's sort of the hottest thing. Even if you know, I'm not sure if we're gonna be using Bitcoins or Ripple or Ethereum to pay for our food and pizza in the future. In fact, I don't really care. I just hold positions for a few weeks to a month or two, and yeah, check it out. Even if you're skeptical, as long as you can obviously have money you can afford to lose, there's no harm checking it out. Technical analysis works better, I would say, if you go in with the trend. That is, if you're trying to sell highs, like some of my former analysts colleagues at some of the other websites are trying to do, then yeah, you get in trouble. But even if you try to buy lows, you need to be careful. But market stabilizes, narrows down into a nice range, and you have a breakout, and so far it's working out alright. So check it out. Okay guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow same time here at TradeCaptain.com and in the live trading room. If you like it, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Don't forget to share. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.